Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have something hip that we want to present to you.
Yo, sound man, turn it up.
Beans.
Hey, what's poppin', baby? It's the Drop the Beat podcast with your man DJ Wildchild. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling, man? Thank y'all for tuning in. Listen, on this podcast, we talk any and everything DJ and music related. But right now, on this in particular episode, I got one of the absolute vets in the game, man. He's been around for eons. I'm lightweight calling him old, but goddammit, he know his thing. I need y'all to make some noise for my man, the one and only Lee Farmer in the building. Lee Farmer, what's happening, baby?
First of all, I'm not old. I'm seasoned, bro.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I do apologize. I apologize,
You know what I'm
my
saying?
boy.
Like a fine aged whiskey.
Hey,
You know
let me
what
take
I'm
that back. I got the seasoned one.
saying? Seasoned veteran, baby.
Seasoned vet. Lee Farmer's
Yes,
in the
sir.
building. What's up, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Happy to be
yes,
here.
you are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Listen, so let's dive right in. Let's talk about your beginnings, man. Like, let's go.
Man. So, grew up in not too far from here, bro, in Maywood.
Okay.
And man, just about, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, man. I had a cousin, his name was Perry Whitehead, right? And him and his cat, Terry Mack, they used to do a lot of, man, just DJ barbecues, picnics, you know what I'm saying? They used to do the clubs. But, man, he would just let me carry equipment, you know what I'm saying? Started from about 8 years old, man, like, and just being around. And, man, I just kind of would see what they were doing and just see how they were, like, just captivating people with the records that they were playing, right? And my cousin, man, he was a genius cat, man. He built studios. Man, he played for the Bears for a season, linebacker.
What
You know
year
what
was
I'm saying?
this?
This was in the 80s sometime, man.
Was it 85?
Yeah, he was a walk-on. No, it wasn't 85. It was
Okay,
before
so
that.
after any other
Yeah.
season besides that, don't matter.
Yeah. It was like 79 or 80 or 81 or
Oh,
something.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
But, yeah, so just kind of got the bug from him. He had turntables, you know what I'm saying? So me and my little brother used to go over there and, mess around on his turntables till we were able to get our own. And then, man, just grew up with none but DJs around me, bro. So, I don't know if you know who Mike Brown is, but Mike Brown, who, man, he used to throw them parties at the Hotel Continental way back in the day. Him and Brian
Thank you.
Reeves,
Thank you.
right? So,
Yeah.
so Mike grew up on the next block from me.
Really?
Right? Yeah, and
Okay.
so he had turntables. He'd be in his basement. Derek Carter grew up like 3 blocks away from me. Brian Reeves was right across the 290, like about 5 blocks away. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? Man, Corey White, C. White grew up like right around the corner. Man, OB, like
Dog,
bunch.
so you grew up with all of the
Yeah, like
hitters.
real serious hitters. Well, they ended up becoming serious hitters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so I was around them, and then got to high school, and man, freshman year, my English class, I meet this kid named Bill, Bad Boy Bill,
Bad.
right?
Wow.
And so we become friends, and then man, he had turntables at his crib, and he ended up being mentored by Julian Perez. He introduced me to Julian.
Jumping Julian.
Right.
Wow.
So Julian, man, used to let us come over to his crib. He had like these white shelves in his crib with mad records and 1200s. So he would let us come over there, play records. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Julian. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
And just, man, I was just around it, vibing out. And, I would be at home playing, but I wasn't really, at that point, I was playing sports. You know what I'm saying? I was chasing girls. You know what I'm saying? I was doing what you do in high school for the most part, right? But I was always always playing records, always buying records, always going to the record shops. And just all my friends were really deep into DJing, right? So, and I would just play at home.
Okay.
And just that's what I would do. And really didn't get into like serious DJing and probably until I don't know, like my probably last few years of high school, probably like my last year of high school, I started like really just being more on it. I would throw these backyard parties in my backyard, and I would set up 2 barbecue grills, and I would set up a grill here, and I would get a DJ set up in the middle, and I'd
Dude,
be grilling
why?
and DJing.
Why? Why would you want to be
I would be
in
grilling
between
and,
2 grills, though,
right?
G?
I would be grilling and DJing, right?
What?
But yeah. And my parents would go out of town. We'd do these parties. Eventually, we got in a whole lot of trouble, and like we're doing these parties. But that would be like the spot
God,
that
dog.
I would. That was probably the only place I was really DJing out, right?
Okay.
So then I end up 87. I joined the military, right? Go to the Navy. End up being stationed on the USS New Jersey, which was a battleship, most decorated ship in the Navy. And they had a radio station, right? So I ended up being a DJ on a radio station, right? So I ended up getting stationed in Long Beach, California, and they had a bass club. So I ended up DJing sometimes at the bass club.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And so I did that. When I came back from the Navy, reconnected with Bill, and he wanted to start up his official label, right? We were I used to help him distribute his mixtapes, right, to all the stores. So it was about 300 stores that we were going around distributing mixtapes to, and man, just all over Chicago. And then I forgot who it was that ended up getting in trouble. It was maybe it was DJ Drum. It was somebody in the South that ended up getting like in this court case with the RIAA. And Bill was like, "Hey man, I want to do licensed mixtapes, man. I want to like not even mess around with this stuff, right?" So we started Mixing Extra Multimedia and started licensing songs to put on mixtapes. And those were the first official licensed mixtapes ever.
Just out of curiosity, what was like the cost to get licensed back then?
Man, so the crazy thing was they were going by the statutory rates, which man, I forgot what it was back then. But it was too expensive to put 20 songs on a mixtape, right? So one of my guys, his name is Mike Burns. Shout out to Mike Burns. He was a lawyer at Sidley and Austin, real brilliant dude, and crazy dope bass player too, right? Used to be a bass player in one of the bands that I put together. But he would take me to the law library so I could learn about just like publishing, licensing, all that stuff, right? So we ended up working with him and the lawyers that Bill had at the time. I think it might have been Joe Madonia, who was the attorney at the time. And we figured out like basically an algorithm and a way to prorate the music and pitch it to the labels, right? So if we had 20 songs, because usually an album, they would license 10 songs, right? It would net out to be whatever that was, right?
Okay.
So just say it may be $1 that we owe in royalties off of those 10 songs. It might be $0.10 a song per unit or whatever, right? So, but if you did the math and you did 20 songs and that's $2, it makes it too expensive to actually make
Gotcha.
the product. Because after you pay everybody, you pay mechanical royalties, you pay master use, you know what I'm saying? You pay for pressing, you pay for distribution, all of that stuff, right? So we ended up coming up with this, ability to prorate it, and then we pitched it to the labels, and they were like, okay, we can do that. Because they're like, DJs are doing this anyway, now we have a way to get paid,
Mm-hmm.
and we're promoting our music with these DJs. So we ended up doing that, and we're real successful with it.
Got you. So I'm a kind of jump back and forth, but you mentioned the year 87, I think you said. What have you noticed has changed with this DJ game between 1987, 1997, 2007, 2017 to this very present day?
Oh man, from 87 to 2007, as far as the DJ game, not a lot really changed.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Except, well, when did Serato come out? Like
20 years ago.
05,
Today. 04.
04.
04.
Okay, so 04 is when it changed.
Okay.
04 is when it really,
Okay.
really changed, right?
Okay.
And that was, Serato was really the catalyst for moving everything digital, right? So,
Right.
I mean, we had CDJs, right?
Mhm.
People were able to play CDs,
Mhm.
but Serato changed the game. And in the Midwest, I was one of the people responsible for doing that, which I did not know the repercussions at the time.
What do you mean?
So I was the first person in Chicago with Serato. At the time, we were doing, you can verify it.
Are you serious, D?
Yeah, you can verify it.
I'm not saying you lying. It's just, like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah, 'cause
how?
I'll tell you how it happened. So prior to Serato, they came out with this thing called Final Scratch, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
And it was basically Serato, but it was made by Stanton. I
Right.
bought it immediately. It was trash. It didn't work. It was like your computer was shut down.
First of all, it was Stanton, but I ain't.
It was
Anyway.
It just was bad. It was real bad, right?
Okay.
And so it was unusable.
Okay.
So sent it back and was just like, man, this stuff doesn't work. Right.
Gotcha.
Went back to playing vinyl. Never really got deep into CDs. I had a bunch of CDs. I had a dual CD player and would sometimes take it out if I had to do a wedding or something and I didn't want to pull turntables out or whatever. But so anyway, fast forward, this is, I guess it was 04 then, where me and DJ World are doing an event for Kenny Johnson at Crowbar with Jazzy Jeff.
Shouts out
Right.
to Crowbar. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So we go to Crowbar. I think I was spinning first. Or maybe World spun first. I can't remember who spun first. But anyway, we both spin, right? And it's time for Jeff to come on, right? And so Jeff walks in with a backpack. And we're waiting to see, because Jeff would come with crates of records, 5, 6 crates, right?
Wait, he traveled with
He used to
Craig?
travel with a lot of records, right?
I'll ask about that later, but
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
we don't see no records. And you know how Crowbar had the booth, you're up.
All the way upstairs.
You're all the way up
Yeah.
and you're seeing everything on the floor, right? So when someone walks in the door, you can see,
Yeah.
right? So he walks in, no records.
Crowbar was on Lake. Is that Lake Street? No.
No, it was on that off of why can't I think of the
Off of
street?
Halsted.
Yeah, but it was
Anyway.
the slanted street.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of it. But okay.
And I was just over there the other day, and I can't think of the street right now.
Don't worry about it.
So anyway, that's what happens when you get older. Shit. Seasoned. That's what happens when you're seasoned. So anyway, Jeff walks in. Me and World are like, whoa, man, you don't have no records. I'm like, bro, you got any more crates in your trunk? I was like, I got another crate I didn't bring in. He was like, yeah, I think I got 2 crates. Right. So we're sitting there trying to figure out, like, we're like, man, maybe the promoters didn't pay him. Like, he walked in with no records, right? We're like, shit, what's going down? Right,
First of all, Jeff, I know damn well them promoters. You ain't finna tell me the promoters ain't pay him, and he still walked in that door.
Right. Well, I mean, if he was here, he might have just came to the party. Who knows? We're thinking.
Okay, from that aspect,
Right.
got it.
And we're thinking, man, okay, what's going on? So we're trying to we got to try to figure out how to cover. It's packed. Dance floor is cracking. We've had the party going. You know what I mean? So Jeff walks up and he sees the look on our face. And he's like, don't worry, fellas. I got this. He's like, we're like, what do you mean? Where's your records? He's like, I got them. He pulls out 2 records out of his backpack and connects this box. And I'm like, man, World, get them records, bro. He's got that. He's got that final scratch. He's got that final scratch, bro. That shit is gonna break down in the middle of his set. We're gonna have to come. We're gonna have to play some records, right? So, man, he got on. He starts playing flawless. 3 hours, bro.
On Final Scratch?
No, this was the beta version of Serato.
Oh, ooh.
So he's playing, and usually, you know, other DJ comes, we're in the crowd. We just rock the crowd. You know what I'm saying? We want to go talk to women, have drinks, kick it. Bro, both me and World stayed right over Jeff's shoulder for his whole set watching, right? And I was just like, this is insane. Perfect, no issues, right? So I was like, he got done with the set. I was like, bro, you can't leave until I figure out how I can get that. I like literally blocked him and was like, bro, you can't go nowhere until you give me the information on how I can get that, like, right away.
You didn't Debo the man, did you?
I was like, you ain't going nowhere, bro. He was laughing. He was like, nah, man, you know what? I'll connect you with my man at Rain. And the dude's name was Mike May, right? Shout out to Mike May, wherever Mike May is. And so I was like, man, I heard that name before, right? So he connects me, gives me the number. And turns out that my man Eddie Mills, rest in peace, Steady Thrills, that was my dude. Eddie was sponsored by Rain at the time. So he was talking to Mike May like every day, right? And so I called him, didn't get an immediate call back, right? So I was like, Eddie, man, don't you know Mike May? He's like, yeah, it's my dude. I was like, man, call this dude, right? I need to get this Serato thing. And he was like, oh, man, that stuff don't work. I was like, man, just call him for me, right? So he calls him, right? So Mike May hits me back, right? And then go back and forth with him. I was like, yeah, Jeff told me to call you, blah, 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 Eddie Mills. And then he was like, man, you know what? We don't have any of the beta ones left, but we'll have a couple production models that we'll have next week. He was like, I could send you one of the production models, right? So about 2 weeks later, I get the first the SL1, right? So I got it, immediately started playing with it. And at the time, you know, we obviously had the Soul Selector DJs.
Yeah.
And we had the Crocodile Lounge on Tuesdays.
Right.
So every Tuesday, there would be about 50, 60 DJs in the room. And we would always have artists come and fly in on their release days, right? So they could push all the records to us. You know what I'm saying? Because we had all the club DJs, radio DJs. Everybody would be in there. We'd all be drinking, hanging out. You know, man, Big Meech and them would come through and buy the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing their artists. And it was like that. So we and I took it there.
Kind of almost like industry night.
Yeah. Except, but all the DJs were there.
Got you. Okay.
So, and that was our Tuesday hang. You know what I'm saying? And we would just rotate who was spinning. And so it was my turn to spin. I brought Serato. And everybody lost their minds, right? And it wasn't available yet to the public for a few more weeks, right? And then when it came out, everybody was on.
You had the control disc or the control vinyl?
No, the control vinyl. They didn't even have the control disc yet. Really? Nah, not with the SL. Not when they first sent me out the version of the SL1.
Really?
It just came with the That's what I got.
The box and the vinyl.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
But maybe because I got one of the first ones, they didn't have the CDs in there yet.
That's crazy. Okay.
But yeah, because I bought the control CDs separately later.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, that started a whole thing. I think maybe 33 and a third was maybe the next person that got it.
Good old boy.
Yeah. I think Thomas was like the second person that got it. And then
another goon.
Yeah. And then and the funny thing was, when the 57 came out.
The Rain 57, yeah.
Only 3 of them came to the market. I know I got one. I know Thomas got one. I don't know who the third person was that got that third one. But they sold out immediately. So I got my 57. I had it maybe like 4 to 6 months before anybody else had it.
You so special.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
But so, you know, it worked out because when we did Master the Mix and I was a technical producer, you noticed we were using all the Rain products.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
Brought Rain into that scenario.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's easy to say, and toot your own horn, because this is really the platform for that. It's easy to say you had a hand in shaping what the DJ game kind of turned into in this city.
And so going back to your question, what changed, right? So Serato changed everything. It changed the whole game. We didn't know it at the time because we were all established DJs with record collections, right? And we were like, oh, this is just an easier way. So we all started like, you know, digitizing our record collections, right?
How long did that take you?
Man, it took a minute. And, you know, I still got a lot of records that I never digitized.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of white label stuff, a lot of stuff that I only have on vinyl. And I will never digitize it at this point. But I will only play that stuff on vinyl. But
okay.
You know, it got to the point where, you know, it all happened because the BitTorrent sites happened all around the same time. You know what I mean? Like Napster had already happened. You know, the whole being able to just download music from the internet, that was all going on. And so it was like a perfect storm. A lot of people who were not DJs were able to download entire collections in a matter of hours. And now all of a sudden, man, I'm a DJ. I'm gonna go to the club. I'm gonna buy Serato, which wasn't that expensive. And now I'm a DJ. I'm gonna go and I'm a DJ for drinks. You don't even have to pay me. Just give me drinks.
Yeah, all right.
And but
I get it though.
But these club owners were like, oh man, yeah, come on in. And then the money went down. You know what I mean? We were making real money in the clubs for many, many years. Many years.
Yeah, it's a lot of
buying homes and cars, and
it's a lot of DJs I know ate
and boats and,
very well.
I was one of them.
I know.
I ate very well during the 90s and
early
about 2005, 2006.
Mm.
And then everything changed. The whole game changed.
Mm.
And
would you say it changed for the better or for the worse? Or it just changed?
I think from a monetary standpoint, it definitely changed for the worse, right? Because we had a scenario where if you were a full-time DJ, it wasn't too difficult for you to make a living, and that's all you did, right? After about 2006, it became way more difficult to do that if you were a club DJ, right? So either you had to get into doing, weddings, corporate, and everybody isn't able to make that transition. From, fortunately for me, I was always doing that other stuff and the clubs, right?
Gotcha.
So it wasn't that difficult for me to transition. And I always had other irons in the fire.
Gotcha.
I had my sound business
and
my marketing company, and so I had other entrepreneurial efforts that the money that I made from DJing was that fueled all of that stuff.
Gotcha.
But by the time that happened, those other entities were established, and I was able to get an income from those at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, but from a creative standpoint, I think the digitization gave people a lot more avenues to just get creative, right? I mean, dude, Serato stems, like,
that was some of the best. I ain't finna front. It was some of the best shit to ever happen.
That's incredible. Like I DJ mostly vinyl right now because that's kind of what I've been on. But I do digital gigs just so I could play with Serato
So
styles
you can play with the stems?
because you're remixing on the fly. It fuels your creativity.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you got to take the good with the bad. It kind of hurt the industry, but it fueled creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you say it hurt the industry, let's tap into that real quick. Like, what do you mean it hurt the industry a little bit?
Well, it brought the money down, right? So now it's like you either are a part-time DJ working some other job and doing these clubs, or you're a superstar DJ. Like it's like the middle class of DJs is almost gone now. Like there is no middle class of DJs.
Got
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
It's
Okay.
either you're on the low end or you're on the high end. You know what I'm
Got you.
saying? You're the superstar or
Okay.
you're,
Got you.
there were a lot of cats that, might make 150, 200 grand a year just DJing in the clubs.
That's crazy. To even
Back then-
think about the numbers, man, that's crazy.
Now, nobody's doing that.
You'd be lucky if you're making 40,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. So let's fast forward. You've been around DJing. You've been around some of the biggest names. You've been a part of some of the biggest events in Chicago. What's happening with you now?
So, a lot of things, man. I have a sound company, of course.
Of course.
I was blessed enough for my man Lil Lewis to call me, and I did his last event in Chicago.
The one that was here not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And why that's special is I used to go to the Bismarck, and I used to walk in and feel that sound system that Frenchie used to bring in at the Bismarck when Lewis was doing his joints. So for him to hit me up and for me to be able to work with him, on that type of level was that's kind of like, okay, I made it, mama, I made it.
That's dope, yo. That's dope.
Yeah, that was dope. From a audio engineer perspective, right?
Gotcha.
So, always DJing. That never stops. You know what I'm saying? Continuing to do that. I've been blessed enough to work on some really dope records from an audio engineer standpoint. I did 2 for Kahil Elzabar in the last few years. On the jazz side, which spawned like 8 world tours for him and his band. And so
I'm sorry.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, they did 8 world tours off the records that I recorded. And then
Fuck out of here. Wow.
it was the Time for Healing record we did was his first feature in Downbeat magazine out of his whole career. And so I recorded that record. I was also blessed enough to record Jay Ivy's record, which was his first one that he got a Grammy nomination for.
Nominated for the Grammy, right.
Exactly.
Damn.
So, yeah, I've done some cool stuff on the recording side. On the marketing side, with my marketing company that's called the TCG Collective. We've done some super dope events. Most recently, I produced the event that Rolling Stone did with Royal Sonesta with Common and No Name. And I brought in my man Jay Illa to spin that one.
That was at that wasn't too long
At the
ago.
Royal Sonesta Hotel.
At the Sonesta upstairs. Yeah.
So Rolling Stone reached out to me to produce that event. Shout out to Rolling Stone. Shout out to my girl Angela at Rolling Stone. That was dope. That was a real dope event. So, continue moving. We do a lot of stuff with D-Case, with City of Chicago. I'm doing the Maxwell Street. They're bringing back the Maxwell Street Market. So I'm doing that Sunday. I'm actually doing a live mixing. I'm the engineer for like the blues shows that they do.
Okay.
For that. And then from the DJ side of things, I just opened up a venue called Wax Vinyl Bar.
Yes, sir.
Right. And it's a Japanese style vinyl bar, first one in Chicago. And it's all records all the time. And man, we've been open about 3 months, it's been crazy. Like, I've had a lot of dope DJs in there. Just most recently, Sunday before last, I had DJ Scratch. Shout out to my brother, DJ Scratch. He came and blessed it. I had Chuck D in there. Shout out to Chuck. It's my man, big brother. DJ Johnny Juice, who's Public Enemy's DJ, came in and me and him played 45s all night. So, man, me and Darren Jones have been doing this thing called the Spotlight. Shout out to Darren. That's been real dope for all the disco and boogie heads.
Nice.
So yeah, man, it's been real dope. Shout out to my fiance, who's my partner. Shout out to my man Freddie Baez. Shout out to my man Nino, who's also a partner. We've been pushing that forward. It's been real dope.
That's dope as hell.
So everybody come and support.
Yeah,
we need
please.
it.
I'm definitely coming. I'm definitely coming because I've heard nothing but good things about it. And I want to give my flowers to you. You've been in the game. You understand what the game has been about. And for you to have a spot that caters to the DJ game is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not only just the restaurant, because I'm sure the food is good, the drinks are good, all of that. But I'm proud to even have this opportunity to talk to you about that and to know that you have that type of situation going. That's dope all in itself. That's dope all in itself.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured like we need to come back to the craft of DJing, right? Come back to the digging, the collecting, playing vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
And I was really about to kind of flip to that. What do you feel is missing in the game, in the DJ game nowadays?
Everybody's playing the same 40 records. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too easy, right? And, you know, when you have every DJ that plays vinyl, their collection is different. You were digging at different stores than I was digging at. I may have shopped in Paris. I may have shopped in London when I was there. You may have shopped in Atlanta. You may have shopped, you know what I'm saying? We're getting records from different markets. We're getting different records from different online stores. Wherever we're getting our music from, me and you could go into a spot and our collections are going to be completely different. We're playing different music.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We're thinking differently. You know, it's a whole different scenario. Whereas with digital, we're all getting the same stuff off TrackSource. We're all getting the same stuff off Amazon, you know,
BPM,
Apple Music, you know, all of the, we all have access to all the same stuff, right? And so, you know, and the hits are the hits. The DJs end up playing these same 40 records that I keep hearing over and over again.
So with you saying that, what do you feel is the disconnect between just in the DJ community alone? Because let's just bring the elephant in the room, dog. It's a disconnect between the DJs, whereas there used to be some type of unity. You know what I mean? And now it's like, I'm not tripping on it's a every man for themselves type of situation, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Don't shit on me.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, you know what? The camaraderie has fallen off a little bit, right? And I mean, I think the record store culture is one of those things that help keep people together, bro. I mean, I remember Tuesday, I'd be at Gramophone, you know what I'm saying, to catch those deliveries, and everybody would be there. Because everybody knew this is when the records come in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get there.
Tuesdays is release day.
So you're chopping it up with everybody. We're talking about music. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a camaraderie. And, you know, Hot Jams had their day. We would be, you know, in Hot Jam. All the stores, you know what I'm saying, that we used to go to, they would have their day. All the DJs would be in there. We would be chopping it up, talking with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, you know, even the record distributors, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, with Happy and all of them, when they used to do the stuff, we would go to their offices and a bunch of DJs would be, you know, on certain days, you know, Dwayne, all those cats at Jaguar, we would be in their offices going to pick up records. So we would just be around each other more and have more conversations. And that bolstered more camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? And that's missing. One of the things I'm trying to do at Wax is bolster that camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? And it's been dope because it's been a cultural hub. When certain DJs have been playing, it's been a lot of DJs coming in the room.
Dope. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Good.
And you know, and we're having conversations around records and DJ culture and stuff like that. So it's been real dope, man. And it's you know, hopefully it'll continue to move in that direction.
Well, I think as long as you are doing what you're doing in the way that you're doing it, I don't see it slowing down or turning into a dinosaur type of thing. You know what I mean? I think what the game needs now is a refresher.
Yeah.
If I'm to state my own opinion, the game needs a refresher because it's even to the point now. I look for somewhere different to go. Like, and I'm not knocking nobody. I'm not nothing like that. But I don't want to hear the same old shit, and I don't want to be around the same old thing all the time. Give me what's different.
Yeah.
What's different? You know what I mean? Like, I will sacrifice a different atmosphere than to be somewhere that's giving me the same vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
And I think what you're bringing to the table is definitely a different vibe, a different taste, and I encourage you to stay with it, dog.
Yeah, and we got to get back to breaking records. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I do is I go on Bandcamp, and I'm searching for new artists. I'm searching for new music.
And I think that's another problem too, though. Like the quality of music now.
But you know what though? We just got to look harder as DJs, right? Because man, there are some incredible artists right now on Bandcamp, like putting out music, and if we just search for it, and man, I'm playing new music all the time, and cats are like, man, who is that? What is that? Right? So it's there, but you know, it's super easy just to go on BPM or Track Source or wherever and just grab music, and you know, it's what everyone else is playing, and it's the hits, and you know, it's easy. We're not putting in the work, right? So I challenge myself to put in the work.
Okay. And
it's a lot of other DJs that are out there that are challenging themselves to put in the work, right?
Gotcha.
And we've been having conversations like, man, me and Darren Jones were in my spot till like 3 a.m. after we closed the other day, playing each other records that neither of us had heard. You know what I'm saying? He just bought a bunch of stuff from Europe. I just had a bunch of new stuff come in, and it's all, you know, stuff that people don't know, right? And we're in there like, damn, this is dope. Damn, that's dope. That's crazy. You know, and man, it's just, you know, we just have to do that as DJs and like just continue to craft and put in the work.
So in your personal opinion, as being one of the OGs of the DJ game, being around for as long as you have, being a part of everything that you've been a part of, what do you think the DJs need to do to bring it back to locking in and the camaraderie of the game?
I mean, it's just go out and see other DJs play. You know what I'm saying? Go out and support each other, right? You know, I know we all work. I know we all do things, but, you know, man, whenever I have a chance, I go out and try to hear other DJs, right? I mean, recently I've been locked into my spot, but what's great is I'm booking DJs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting to hear
a win for you, no
those other DJs in my own spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
And so that's been a great thing.
Okay.
Right? I'm learning every day. Cats are playing music. I'm like, man, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Certain cats like Darren, like INC, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been like, what?
Shouts out INC.
Every few records, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what is that? What is that?
Yeah.
And, you know, man, Steve Maestro came in and did a crazy set. You know what I'm saying?
When?
Man, he's been there twice.
Bruh.
Yeah, all vinyl. He hadn't played vinyl in 20 years. Steve is pulling out records I hadn't even heard, and those came out 20 years ago.
Not send the bat signal out, man. That's the type of shit I be needing,
Lil Jon came in and was playing records I haven't heard since he was at Red Dog. Like stuff that's not even on digital, remixes and white labels. You know what I mean? But that's the kind of nights that we've been having. Jesse De La Pena came in with a 45 set, blowing everybody's minds. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the type of nights that we've been having. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just a couple.
Sack, we gotta go, man. We gotta go. We have to go. Jesus Christ! Like, if this is what it is, hey, say, man, you listening to me? Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. Oh my God. So let me pose this last question, and then we're gonna go to get up out of here, because like I feel like I could talk to you for at least another 2 hours with the amount of knowledge and things you got to add to the game. Three things that you what am I trying to say? Give me three things that you feel as though three pieces of advice. That's what I'm trying to say, that you would give to the newer DJ or the up and coming DJ as it refers to this thing called the DJ game.
Number one, learn the craft. Buy vinyl. Learn how to DJ the way you're supposed to learn how to DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not knocking controllers. I have them all.
I bet you do.
I got flash drives in my pocket right now. You know what I'm saying?
Why, man?
Because I always have them. I play CDJ on CDJs. I got 3000s. I have all of that, right?
Okay.
So I'm not knocking anyone that starts wherever they're able to start. But if it is at all possible, you think differently when you're playing vinyl than when you're playing digital. It's a different thought process. It just is, right? It's a different tactile feeling with your hand motions. It's just different, right? And you know, it's good to learn it that way, because if you learn it that way and then you learn controllers and digital, right? It's easier. If you have to play digitally and then try to learn how to play vinyl, it's a bigger leap. It's more difficult to do it in the opposite direction, right?
Okay.
Number two, study the cats that came before you, right?
Has to pay homage. You have to.
And a lot of these cats that I see out here, they're like, man, that dude don't know the new music. He's been doing this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, learn from him.
But without him, there's no you.
Right. Learn from him. Learn from these cats, because they've mastered the craft, right? Once you master the craft, add on your own stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I see cats trying to change the game, but they haven't even learned the game.
Got you.
How do you change the game without learning the game? So learn the game. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
And then the other part of it is be financially savvy, right? Understand where you are in the pecking order, right? So there's a lot of DJs that are charging too little for their skill sets. And there's a lot of DJs that are asking too much for their particular skill sets. You know what I'm saying? And they're way out of bounds. Like, it's just like, nigga, what? You try.
Right.
You know, so understand where you are and what you can charge and what the marketplace will support.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
And, you know, sometimes you can push those levels and get a little bit more money. And sometimes you got to take a gig and be like, I'll take a little bit less money, you know what I'm saying, to keep working, right? Not a whole lot less, because then you start
You're shortchanging yourself.
And all the other DJs around too, right? But just understand where you are, right? Understand your skill set. And that's with everything, right? I have people in my other businesses that, you know, young people that come in and be like, yeah, I need to make this much money. And I'm like, you ain't gonna make it here. You crazy. You don't have that type of experience. Like, you're like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have experienced people that don't make that kind of money.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Shit.
So, you know, those that's the advice that I would give.
Dope.
To anyone coming in the game.
Last question. We're gonna get up out of here. Give me 7 DJs you loved. You just, it ain't even necessarily got to be love to hear. 7 DJs that you appreciate hearing spin, and locally. Let me not even go nationwide, because I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Man, that's hard in Chicago, bro. Chicago has the best DJs on the planet. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, bro.
I need to pull it back to 5.
Oh no, I mean you might need to expand it to 30.
Damn.
Because there's that many great DJs in the city.
Right.
I mean, man, like me, if I have to just go to like my personal taste, I like the way DJ World plays. Like, Steve Maestro is another favorite. Jesse De La Pena, man, Darren Jones, Sadar. Man, bro.
Dude, I haven't seen him spin in so long.
INC. You.
I mean, thank you. Coming from you, listen. Coming from you,
Man.
that makes
Jay
my heart
Amani.
funny. Yeah.
Man, I hate being on the spot. Terry Hunter. And I'm just thinking about who.
Just off top. Yeah.
Yeah. Fathom DJ. She just played an excellent set at my spot the other day.
Word.
I like the way she plays.
All vinyl?
Yeah. She played it.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Man. Mike Dunn. It's one of my favorite DJs.
Without question.
You know, and that's probably more than 7 already, right?
It absolutely is, but it's
you know
okay.
What I'm saying? I'm like, man, I could keep naming cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like I said, Chicago, and I'm forgetting, you know, a lot of people.
Don't worry about it.
That I love right now.
Don't worry about it.
Mike Caliber is real dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He played a dope vinyl set at my spot. Mike's got a dope collection.
That's what's
you know
happening.
What I'm saying?
That's what's happening. My man.
Lee Collins. Man. Lil Jon. Sundance.
No need to keep going, dog. Like,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
just, we'll be here for a while.
Right. We could be here all day just naming incredible DJs
Yeah.
from Chicago
Absolutely.
who I love to hear play. 50 Mills, you know what I'm saying? It's
Absolutely.
Just, it keeps
Absolutely.
going and going,
Absolutely.
you know?
So, man, just let the people know where they can find you. Not even necessarily to book you, but even the bar.
Yeah.
Just give us all your socials and
At
everything like
Wax
that.
Vinyl Bar
Mm-hmm.
is you know, Wax Vinyl Bar. And then at DJ Lee Farmer for everything else.
Yeah.
The sound is Maximum Audio Visual.
Dope.
But you can find all of that you can find everything. If you go to at DJ Lee Farmer, you can find everything.
I remember a real quick story. I remember the first time I found out you was really heavy in the sound. This might have been the last year that the Brewfest was actually in Hyde Park.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the multiple stages. You had the one in over by the hotel and then the one actually on 53rd.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, who did the sound? Because this shit sounds great. Oh, this Lee Farmer. This who?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But like, man,
I
listen.
did Brewfest. I did the other festival they did, Brews, Brats, and Brass.
Yeah.
You know, I did Silver Room Block Party, man, since the beginning.
Yeah. So shouts out to you for constantly just being in the mix of shit and being on top of stuff, man. You know what I mean?
I got bills to pay, bro.
I get
I got to work.
I get it, but I gotta give you your flowers, man. Like,
Man,
listen,
appreciate it.
I can
And thank you for having me.
Yeah,
This
man.
is
I
fun.
could effectively say like a lot of shit in this city and a lot of dudes wouldn't be where they are, but if it wasn't for you. And thank you for even come to talk to a little dude such as myself.
Man, come on, you're
You know
a
what
beast
I'm
and
saying?
you know it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So listen, we finna get up out of here, man. This has been a hell of a time. This won't be your last time being here because it's so much more we could talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you it is. But until the next episode, man, y'all be good. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe out here. Love on your people. Wild Child, Drop the Beat podcast. We out of here.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. We have something hip that we want to present to you.
Yo, sound man, turn up.